This is a game called Family by the creator's name is Owl underscore Skip. OWL Skip. And it is a free game on IO. What's this website called again? itch.io. That's what it was. Itch.io. And this is a game where you recreate the 80's London pop scene. And it's very similar in the vein of Return of the Obra Dinn, which is another series that I have that you can check out. But basically, you're trying through music, through a radio station recording, through newspaper clippings, you're trying to figure out the members of all these different bands in this specific scene. All these people went to different bands, played together, stopped playing together, almost like a family of members, and you're trying to figure out what happened to these bands. Like I said, it's very indie. I saw some article about it in maybe PCGamer or Rock Paper Shotgun or something. Decided I'd give it a try. It seems like a game that I could play in one full playthrough, so let's try that. It also has music in there. One of the awesome things is that they created song snippets, or like almost full songs, for all these different fake bands for this game. So I'm just going to run this game here. You can just play it right in your browser. There's 8 different bands made up. Like, this is a song that they made up by the fake band Costa and Yet Love Songs. And these seem like very legit songs. I had to look this up to see if these were real or not. And they're not real. They were made for this game, but they sound perfect. I have no idea if I'm able to monetize this video or if it will get taken down because of the music. But even if I can't monetize it, usually what happens is that the ads still run, but it goes to the copyright holders. So I am fine if the people who own this song that made this game get any ad revenue. That'd be great. So I believe when I start, it'll play a little, it'll talk about it a little bit.
91.5 Sussex in the afternoon, I'm Dave Allen, and today we're looking back at the London pop scene, 1985 to 1995, and we're very lucky to have in the studio the one, the only, Ella Neal. Of course, she's something of a household name today, but at the start of her career, she was on the London pop scene with her group, making a go of it as synthpop and indie stormed the airwaves. We'll be spending the show today going through tracks from the scene and exploring Ella's memories of it. But first, Ella, how are you doing today?
Afternoon, Dave. Very well. Thanks for having me.
So, Ella, so much to talk about, but you were part of a scene of musicians in the late 80s that sought to put London on the map. What do you remember about that time?
It was a family, Dave. Talented, ambitious musicians trying to make something new. It was a wonderful...
Clarice Montag, Dova Pavlova, Easy Tiger,
because
Clanger,
most bands couldn't make it last.
Rah Rah Buffalo,
And that's really sad,
The Rialtos.
because it seems now no one remembers them at all.
So it's the story of this scene. In Family, you will be uncovering the members of the London pop scene There are many resources you can use to do this, including writings, tracks, and the radio. When you think you have identified a musician, click on them in the family tree and select a name from the book. You will be told when you have got 5 names right. There are 30 to find in total. So I'm just going to stop this. So there's these, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wait, 9 bands. Rah Rah Buffalo, the Rialtos, Klinger, Clarice Dog, Easy Tiger, Castanet, Little Red Marks, Dova Pavlova, and the Watercolors. So all these bands were made up of people, as Ellen on the radio said, it was like a family. And to them, it was this big group of people that had these bands for, a couple years at a time, but then it seems like they get forgotten. But to them, they were such a family. So what we're trying to do is go through this and try to label all the members of all these bands. Understand the family tree, essentially, of where they went. So we have just a bunch of different bands, and they have the actual definitions, or not definitions, descriptions. They have the descriptions of all these bands, and they actually made some music for it, which is awesome. So Rah Rah Buffalo is combined fuzzy guitars and 60s girl band influences on several seminal 80s lo-fi tracks. Looks like they only existed for, 10 months, 11 months. And we have the Rialtos, the Klinger, lots of really fun bands here. So there's different notes and references. I can also turn on the radio, which plays some music. Oh yeah, that is the music there. So we can go through some of these notes. So, Memoir of Gary McKay, director of Exodus Records. I was spending the weekend in a part of Camden you don't go to, doing things you don't talk about. This was when a mate mentioned his band was playing up at the Forum. I went down to see them with my girlfriend at the time, Gail from the Rialtos, as well as Lucy, who we all called Flake. I'd seen Elvin when he was a wee lad and thought he was a bit shy, but things had turned around by the time that his new band came on stage. Tony was just fantastic. The way he could play guitar was incredible, with earth-shattering fuzz that shook the place. There had been word of getting Jessen on bass, but this hadn't panned out. Jess would go on to play bass in some of the scene's biggest bands. Ultimately, Rah Rah were great, but it was too much too soon for them. In particular, I remember Elvin completely losing it after his wife took away his supply of Valium just before their gig at Shepherd's Bush Empire. Some of the boys went on to form Easy Tiger, who I managed on the road until things got a little too crazy. The band wanted to emerge from an enormous chrysalis, with the singer rigged to resemble a 30-foot butterfly. However, there was an accident with the rigging and one of our roadies nearly lost an eye. After that, they were pretty much done with the road, and so was I. So this gets a little bit of names in here. So this is talking about Rah Rah Buffalo. 3 people in that. I went down to see them with my girlfriend at the time, Gail from the Rialtos. So that's it. As well as Lucy. So Elvin. I'd see Elvin when he was a wee lad and thought he was a bit shy. Doesn't tell us what instrument he played. Tony was fantastic. The way he could play guitar was incredible. So what we gotta do, open this. So it said Tony. So that's probably Tony Stagg. Is that the guitarist for Rah Rah Buffalo? Let's just have that music on. And we know Elvin is... We don't know which... We don't really know what instrument Elvin played. I wonder if just for now we can say Elvin. Just for both of them, just to have one in there. Kinda cheating the game, but that's okay. Really good music. Alright, we'll stop that for now. Let's go on to this interview. So it's about the Rialtos. So looking at the description of the Rialtos, it says lasted from January 1985 to August 1986. Formed by charismatic and tempestuous singer Alex Adam, the band released a handful of singles before disbanding on the eve of their first LP release. The musicians would go on to form the core of the London scene. So that right there tells us the vocals of the Rialtos was Alex Adam. And we know that somewhere in there from this other interview, Gail was also from the Rialtos. So let's go back to this interview. Interviewer: so Alex, you've been in Tiger Studios for the last 3 months recording the album. How's it going? Alex: it's not so great. How's that? Creative differences, really. There's been a big falling out over parts. Johnny's gone off in a huff because I said his guitar playing was always out of time, which didn't go down well. Well, that's an answer right there. Guitar was a Johnny. Probably John Rod. There's no other Johnny in there, so that's gotta be John Rod then. Because Johnny's gone off in a huff. I see. Do you think you guys can patch it up? Honestly, I'm not sure. I shouldn't really be saying this, but I'm not sure. This is quite where my head is at right now. Do you think you'll make it own? Do you think you'll make it own on the road? I sure hope so. I need to get my fix of roadside cafe food. Know what I mean? I'm not sure I entirely do. You've been talking about something new with your spin-off project. Kostanyet is part of the name Russian. Absolutely. Have you been reading Russian literature like Elvis Costello? No, I prefer Bulgarian personally. How about Sally? What's going on there? Well, we'll have to see. She's mostly making music with Elvin at the moment. Honestly, I'm happy for them. Okay, so he went into Kostanyet. So he had a side project, Kostanyet, September 1986, January 1987. Practicers of Fey and Jangle Pop, considered by some a little bit twee and overly enthralled to the Smiths and Big Star, they marked the last of the 60s inspired bands before the scene transitioned in a more rock directions. That was the Kostanyet love songs. So Alex Adams is somewhere in here. So we don't know too much. So it looks like 2 members. I guess vocals and drum. So Alex went there. So also this says, Sally, what's going on there? She's making music with Elvin. So look at this. So Sally presumably is a member of the Rialtos. She's making music with Elvin, which we know to be someone from Rah Rah Buffalo. They connected to create Clarice Montag. August 1986, November 1999. Oh wow, that's a long time. Both musicians had unhappy exits from their previous groups, which they reflected in often bitter, barb-filled songs of love and regrets. So this is Clarice Montag. This tells us that the bass must have been Sally. Oh, we just got some right. We got the guitarist of Rah Rah Buffalo, Elvin Roy as the Fox, vocals and bass, Alex Adams of the Rialtos, John Rod of the Rialtos, and Sally Cox of the Rialtos. We just got 5 of the 30. 25 musicians remain. Musicians may change instruments from group to group. Listening to this interview. Okay, so we saw that Sally Cox and Elvin Roy, right there, it kind of shows how they came together to form Clarice Montag. Now we should, one's vocals, one guitar. I want to listen to Clarice Montag and see if it's a male or female singer. And that should tell us who was who in this band. Sounds like Elvin Roy to me. Yes, it even in this interview it said I didn't talk. So the vocals is then going to be Elvin Roy again, and guitar is Sally Cox. Nice. And we talk about the Rialtos. So drums, let's see. I don't know if it talked about the drummer specifically. Okay. So we got those two. So we don't know the drummers for either band. Can I make this blank? Well, anyways. So Easy Tiger Costin yet. So we had one person from Klinger. Let's see. We can unlock some more reference notes, such as Klinger, note to venues, all or muffin door, 1986. So Klinger, January 1985 to July 1986. Synth pop duo, known equally for their highly theatrical live shows and monosyllabic interview style. They were thought widely to be Satanists due to their song Beelzebub. So synth pop. That's pretty nice. Sounds pretty nice, actually. Okay, this is the Note to Venues tour rider. One of the band is a vegan, so please separate all meat and milk materials from the other foodstuffs. All items can be procured at any local Shell petrol station. Nothing fancy. Bottle of baby jam. 6 Wispa bars. 8-bag Space Raiders. Egg and cress ham and cheese. 4 Orson Mueller yogurt toffee if possible. And they have this support act of Easy Tiger. Tony is leaving his drums on stage, just push them back. If he is taken ill, Aaron Carr will replace him. Ron and Jess will be absent from first two shows. The band will be doing a shortened set. Interesting. So Orson, one of the members of Klinger is Orson then. Orson Way. We don't know which one. Let's just put them down for both for now. And Easy Tiger, the support act, the drummer, is a Tony Stagg. Oh, that's the one member. Tony Stagg went from guitar and Rah Rah Buffalo to drums and Easy Tiger. Alright. So what does it say about Easy Tiger? May 1986 to May 1988. Highly sophisticated and sensuous pop music fronted by a unique singer. The group kept apart from much of the scene and mostly functioned as a slow-moving studio group due to impracticality of their singers' numerous costume changes and show and the exhaustion this caused. Okay, that's really silly. Let's listen to some Easy Tiger. That sounds really nice. Nice. Now let's look at this Clarice Montag press quotes 1987 Life is Piss tour as opposed to All or Muffin. So Clarice Montag was the Elvin Roy and Sally Cox duo. Roy is excellent, although he will struggle to reach the current standards of his former bandmate, Bob Clay. The Times, a superb guitar player, particularly considering her recent conversion to the instrument, Alex Adam must be kicking himself for losing her. Complete and utter tosh, privileged white male and female bullshit. Julie Larch, NME. Wow. Note from the band, I like the last one. Please put it on the inside sleeve of the album. Alright, so Roy is excellent, though he will struggle to reach the current standards of his former bandmate, Bob Clay. Well, his former band was Rah Rah Buffalo, but we don't have any other band member in there. So this has to be Bob Clay. There we go. We got 5 more. Elvin Roy, Clarice Montag, Sally Cox, Clarice Montag, Orson Way Klinger, Tony Stagg, Easy Tiger, and Bob Clay, Rah Rah Buffalo. 20 musicians remaining. So, Orson Way. Interesting that this would say Roy is excellent on vocals, but he struggled to reach the standards of his former bandmate Bob Clay, who was on the drums. So I'm not sure how that lines up exactly. But we got Orson Way as the vocals of Klinger, so someone else on Klinger plays the synth. I want to find out the drums of Rialto. Well, maybe actually. I thought, did it say that the girl doing the interview, was it Ella? That she was on the Rialtos, former Rialtos member. I think that's what it said, right? I'll have to check was a big help. C was loading the fan, so he must have left them. Didn't forget his keyboard, though, did he? Honestly, I'm nearly done with this band. Flake is exhausted, too. We might have to get Colin to replace her on guitar for a few shows. Sorry, things are a bit tense with Stephen at the moment. I hear he's made you all go vegetarian. I'm not sure I could take eating that many eggs. I'd feel like Cool Hand Luke's. Love the new record and hope Johnny's trip to LA goes well. See you and hands across Britain. Fuck Thatcher. Best Gail. Sorry for the language. Gail. This has a symbols keyboard. This is what dear Mike at the Smiths. I'm not sure what band this is referring to. Doesn't really say. We don't have enough information yet, I don't think. Let's see. Hi, Richard. Just seen Ella. She wants to do something new. I'd like to bring Bob on board. A different instrument for him and using his songs. We need a synth player, Ron or Al maybe. Lucy's obviously playing guitar now. Thoughts? Gary. Ella, I like to bring Bob on board. A different instrument for him and his songs. Maybe this is about Easy Tiger. Need a synth player, Ron or Al. Synth. This could be about Lucy's playing guitar now. Thoughts, Gary. Need to have because I think the radio says stuff too. I feel like I'm missing something. I'm just gonna keep this playing a little bit in the background. Mic choice. Okay, C. Flake. Who's Flake? Do we have? That's just someone, right? Oh wait, somewhere earlier, someone's name was Flake. Oh, this is the part that we missed. Yes, back in the very first memo, I went down to see them talking about Rara. I went down to see them with my girlfriend at the time, Gail from the Rialtos, as well as Lucy, who we call Flake. So Rialtos, Gail. She has to play drums then. That's Gail M's. That's who that has to be. And Lucy, who we call Flake. So this internal memo. Wait, so where did that say where? Just would go on to play bass in some of the scene's biggest bands. Tony was fantastic. Let's see. It was Lucy, who we call Flake. I didn't see where Lucy played for. Lucy's obviously playing guitar now. So it doesn't really tell us where Ella is. Flake is exhausted. That's Lucy. C was loading the fan, so who's C? Oh, C, okay, didn't forget his keyboard. There's a couple keyboards. Could be synth too, I guess. That's also keyboards. So C, Flake, which is Lucy. one's talking about. It's just like letter to the band, The Smiths. Dear Mike, so best Gale. Oh, this is Loan of Symbols. Signed Gale, and we know Gale was the drummer here, so she has to be the drummer in Castanet as well. Yeah. And then so, this helps us a lot. We realize that this is now the band Castanet. So C must have been keywords then. That's confirmed. Flake is exhausted too. That was Lucy. And this says Lucy's obviously playing guitar now. So guitar has to be Lucy Ash or Flake. Let's see. So that helped us a little bit. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 confirmed. Now just one more we can get a little bit. So I like to bring Bob on board. So this is, I think this one's talking about Easy Tiger. So, by synth player Ron or Al? Is it Ron? Yes, it is. You got 5 more right. Gail Imms, drums for Rialtos. Gail Imms, drums for Castanet. C. Atkin, keys for Castanet. Lucy Ash, guitar for Castanet. And Ron Kicks, synth for Easy Tiger. We're getting more and more. So this is clearly about Ella wants to do something new. So this is talking about the creation of Easy Tiger. So Ella is somewhere in here. Ella the singer. So Ella wants to do something new. Oh, we also have Bob. Oh yeah, Bob's one of these, playing a different one, so he's not drums, he's vocal, keys, or bass. Thoughts, Gary. Is Gary one of them? Oh wait, Gary is the director of Exodus Records. Okay, well, let's continue looking. Autobiography of Orson Way. He was the vocals on Klinger, and then went to go to Little Red Marks. My mother, Evelina, was Jewish and fled to Liverpool during the war to escape the Nazis. At a tea dance, she met my father. My childhood was very solitary. I spoke German with my mother until I was 5, which resulted in scholars from around the neighborhood following me shouting, "Hail Hitler." Life didn't really start for me until I started working at Alien Records. I was quite the connoisseur and got a reputation for throwing out customers who picked records I didn't like. I thought anyone who wanted some Tom Jones or Rick Astley deserved whatever they got, which was usually an earful of abuse and a shove out the door. Most of the scene were okay, although a bit strict. I could never stand Alex, though. He seemed like a peacock in need of plucking. Nothing special in my mind. When I formed my new band, the one that went big, you all know it. Must be Little Red Marks. I wanted to work with Al, because he was the only person who really wanted to push things in terms of politics and technology. He was a great band member. All the rest to me was just noise. So Al, from this other one, Al is a synth player, and he's talking about his new band that went big, Little Red Marks. It didn't last a while, January 1987 to December 1995. Gigantic electro outfit who combined hard-hitting synths with existential angst, later transitioned into an influential post-rock outfit who machine-gunned a dead sheep at the PETA Annual Award Show. What? Let's listen to a little bit of Little Red Marks. That does tell us that Orson Way is back on vocals. With Owl Hounds as the synths. Sounds so nice. He said, I could never stand Alex, though. I wonder if that was his original partner, if he's talking about someone else. No, Alex Adam, probably. Oh, yeah, so it's not his original partner. Yeah, that's the only Alex in here is Alex Adams. They all have unique names. So I didn't like Alex. But he also didn't mention his previous band member, a synth player. And it's not Owl Hounds, because I would have flowed down here. I wonder if it was C. Atkin who went from keys to back up from synth to keys there. Well, let's look at the Tom Katz interview, Basis Magazine, 1992. Interviewer. So Tom, you and Gail have been playing together since 1985. 1986, actually. Gail was playing with Sally before then. Okay, so yeah, I was trying to... 1986, Gail. Let's see, Tom, interesting, so that has to be Castagnet. So, you were the rhythm section for two of the London scene's most prominent bands. What do you think is the key to your success? Oh, rhythm section. That has to be bass. So this was Tom Katz. Tom Katz. It's listed as THOM in here and DOM in another one. Anyway, so that has to be bass there. You were the rhythm section for two of the scene's most prominent bands. What do you think is the key to your success? Gail and I have always really got on. We read the same books, go to the same political stuff, do a lot together. I think that really helps. We also had great songs, which you need. In Alex and Ella, respectively, we had the best songwriters you could wish for. Oh, Alex and Ella. Because Alex and Gail both went down here, so Alex joined this band as well as vocals. So Alex Adams was also Castagnet. Okay, nice. Where does Ella come in? Let's see. In Alex and Ella, respectively, we had the best songwriters you could wish for. What do you think of Alex's work now? I love it. I think he's a genius. Shoegaze, whatever you call it, it's the future of music. So this was taken in 1992. So Alex is in Pavlova at this point. What other bases do you look to? I think Jess is the obvious choice in terms of tone and musicality. Alex is very lucky to have Jess. Jess. Playing bass. So this has to be Jess. Just Carey. Nice. 5 more. Orson Way vocals for Little Red Marks. Owl Hounds synth for Little Red Marks. Tom Katz bass for Castagnet. Alex Adams vocals for Castagnet. And Jess Carey Vox vocals and bass for Tova Pavlova. Only 10 musicians remain. So we're in the middle of that. Jess is the obvious choice. Alex is very lucky to have Jess. Thanks, Tom. Finally, what gear are you using? Same old Rickenbacker 4001. I'm currently using 45s with one of those new heavy Dunlop picks into a polytune. It makes quite a racket. So we know Tom went into the watercolors. Maybe if I knew more about Rickenbacker. So, I guess bassists. So I think he's still the bassist. Tom Katz of the watercolors now. Gail joined. Oh, Ella. Yeah, so Tom and Gail worked well together, and they had Ella as well. The watercolors is the watercolors. Dreamy guitar textures and abstract lyrics became unlikely fixtures of mainstream radio in the early 90s and still maintain a passionate fan base in Belgium. A reunion has been mooted for the mayor of Antwerp's birthday. I want to see if their main singer is male or female. So when this talked about Ella, I think Ella was the vocalist of Easy Tiger. And then became the vocalist for the watercolors. And that's why he was saying she was the good songwriter in this band. And then Alex Adams in the previous band. So Gail Ems, we can see if she's probably still playing the drums or not in the watercolors. Let's see, watercolor review. Record Mirror Magazine, 1991. The watercolors, Stormy Teacups. It's been a strange journey for the watercolors since the turbulent split of Cassagnet and the desertion of their frontman, Alex Adams. Now the surviving members find themselves not only in the throes of a love affair with the mainstream, but also paired up with arguably the most talented singer on the scene. The result is Stormy Teacups, a collection of up-to-the-minute, stare-at-your-shoes and mumble into your mic jams that are threatening to engulf indie rock as we know it. Gone is the jangle of the Smiths, the Cure, Echo and the Bunnymen. In is flanged guitars and murmuring about something or the other. Newcomer Colin Sapp is a superb addition to the seasoned group of musicians. The songs are throbbing hypnotic beasts, constantly threatening to break free of Neil's silky purr. This record is sure to set the world on fire. So if we got this right, the guitar is Newcomer Colin Sapp. We did get it right. Tom Katz was also the bass of the watercolors. Ella Neal was the vocals of Easy Tiger. Ella Neal was also the drums of the watercolors. And Gail Ems was the drums of the watercolors, and Colin Sapp was the guitar of the watercolors. Yeah, so Ella came from vocals. Wait, I think that was backwards. Ella was on vocals and vocals, not drums. Gail went to drums. That was a little mixed up there, but hey, it's an indie game. So we're missing the bassist from Easy Tiger and Alex Adams. Went to form Dova Pavlova. I don't have the original synth player. Oh, the synth player has to be. It's not Gail or Alex. It has to be either Tom C or Lucy. Let's try like C for now. Let's look at the that many people believe that no significant trios emerged between Rush in 1987 and Nirvana. This is simply a convenience for Americans like me to pretend that the UK was just spending its time composing Malden ditties about cemeteries and pints of Guinness and such. Let me tell you, some of those bands rocked. When I went to see Dova Pavlova at the Kentish Town Forum, the noise coming off the stage was completely overwhelming. An incredible drums and bass combo, easily on par with their mates across town, Imps and Cats. Of course, it all went terribly wrong, as all of Alex Adams' bands do, but while they were around, there were a few that could match. So we got 1995, Imps and Cats, but that's not them. Let's see the note from Ellen Neal in 2005. So, current. I wrote my new song, For the Fatherless, when I was on the road somewhere between Utrecht and Brussels and missing my daughter. It's been a journey full of laughter, tears, and terrible sandwiches. It's easy to see it clearly now. But at the time, the most exciting thing was not knowing what was around the corner. Some of the people weren't so great, but most were wonderful, and in the end, that's what mattered most. I hope you fill your life with excitement, expression, friends, and family. Ella. Okay, wow. We need to figure this out. So the keys. So Tony Stagg, Bob Clay. Bob Clay was either bass or keys. We know Alex Adams was one of these. Trying to look through this previous ones. Okay, Ella wants to do something new. I like to bring Bob on board. A different instrument for him and using his songs. So it's not the drums. Let's try keys. Bob Clay. Lucy's playing guitar now. So Lucy was busy and she didn't go anywhere else. Okay, so the bass. I think Alex Adams might be on drums here, and whoever the bass player went from bass to guitar. Are we able to figure out who was bass on Easy Tiger? So, okay. Oh yeah, Alex Adams went from vocals. We have the Ella connection here. We don't know who Orson Way was with at the very beginning. Vegan. Did anything else talk about vegan? I'm not sure. Oh, hi Richard. Is Richard one of them? Rich Lowe. Is Rich Lowe the bassist and guitarist, maybe? Okay, something's not right. Richard. Have we used everybody? Ron Kicks. So this has to be... Okay. Oh, Johnny's trip to LA goes well. Dear Mike. That's Mike Joyce, the Smiths, that's a different band. missing here? Lucy, we go Flake. So Tony went from guitar to drums. Oh, we have Ron kicks on synth. Maybe Bob was the bass. And then the bass. And then this was Rich Low. And so this could Gail and Alex came from there. This could be Lucy, Tom, or C. Is it Lucy? Is it Tom? It's not. Okay, it's not C then. Okay. Synth. I got these last few here. Gotta read through some of these again. Talks about Elvin. But we know what Elvin, Tony, we got Tony, he's down here. Oh wait, there was a talk of getting... Oh wait, there was a talk of getting Jess on bass. But that hadn't panned out. She would go on to play some of the scene's biggest bands. Wait, bass. What if this was Jess also? No, that was Jess. And then keys were Bob Clay. And then Jess Carey went to bass. So this guitar. Oh, it said newcomer. Didn't it say something about a newcomer? It was Colin, was it? Colin Sapp. Maybe C could still be Tomcats or Lucy Ash. Oh no. Okay, alright. So because Jess would go on to play in some of the biggest bands, that would make sense. Jess. So this is Easy Tiger. Lucy's playing guitar. Tony was fantastic. Just on bass, but it didn't work out with Mrs. Fort Rah Rah. Some of the boys went on to form Easy Tiger. Actually, let's see. Some of the boys, Tony and Stag, or Tony and Bob. Savama has to be. Keys or bass. Chess. Makes sense for chess to be bass and then go play bass over here as well. This was 1985. Okay, this is about Alex Adam Klinger. Okay, if he's taken out, Aaron Carr will replace him. Maybe this is Aaron Carr then. Wait, but that wouldn't make sense because Aaron Carr. Oh wait, Easy Tiger. Aaron Carr will replace him. Ron and Jess will be absent from first two shows in the band. Ron and Jess. Wait, where does Aaron Carr come in? Does Bob Clay has to go here? So Bob Clay and Jess will be absent from the first two shows. Ron and Jess. That doesn't leave. Ron and Jess will be absent from the first two shows. Jess and Bob comes down here. Then there's Aaron Carr, just a backup person. Not sure where they fit in. Maybe Aaron Carr is the synth player. No, that wouldn't fit because the synth player came to work down here. Hi, Richard. Just saying Ella wants to do something new. So, you and Gail have been together. We've got, let's see, Alex works now. He's a genius. Alex is very lucky to have Jess. Where do we see the watercolors? Oh, no, the watercolors is Colin Sapp. Oh, that's where it was, not that there, so... Bob, okay, wait, the news. The watercolors. Some of these bands rocked. So this isn't Colin Sapp. That's a mistake. We got Jess, we got Alex. So one person's just net new. It's just Aaron Carr. It's Easy Tiger. Alright, oops. I'm hopefully not trying to get too stuck here. I'm pretty sure this is perfect. Well, the Jess and Bob, I mean, for Easy Tiger, because it said that Jess went on to play bass for multiple bands. Easy Tiger, Dova Pavlova, and the Bob said it went into Easy Tiger, so it has to be somewhere, so he has to play keys then. I think that's set. What I don't know exactly is that Alex Adams went to Dova Pavlova. Don't quite know which instrument he played. And then a brand new person came in. And then also we don't know who the other member of Clanger was. Because it has to be one of three people. Lucy, Tom, or C. Atkin. Is it? I think it's C. Because it talked about C never forgetting his keyboard. Done with this band. So this is Gail. Man, they could call in to replace her on guitar for a few shows. Replace Lucy. So I guess Colin came in later with the guitar. Okay. I don't know. Let's see, Flake. Best Gale. Alex, what did... Aaron, so this has to be some newcomer. Anything talking about Dova Pavlova. Okay. The incredible drums with bass combo, easily on par with their mates across town, M's and Cats. Alex Adams bands. No. This is all about Rob, Elfin losing it. Then we got Elfin, some of the boys went on to Easy Tiger. The roadies lost an eye, they left. Nothing fancy. One of the band is vegan. So does anything talk about being vegan? Anywhere else? Tony. is Aaron. If Aaron Carr is ill, who replaced Tony? Maybe that means Tony is the drum replacement. Or I mean Aaron Carr is the drum replacement. That means Alex Adams maybe played guitar. Oh man, I thought that would do it. Maybe this is Tom Katz or Lucy Ash. It was Lucy Ash. Oh, we did it. Jess Carey was the bassist for Easy Tiger. Bob Clay, the keys for Easy Tiger. Aaron Carr, the drums for Dova Pavlova. Alex Adams, the guitarist for Dova Pavlova. And Lucy Ash, the synth for Clanger. 0 musicians remain. Finish it.
We've been very lucky to have Annie Neal here, and you're going to finish with a song.
I am. Thank you so much for having me, Dave. And yes, this is my final song.
Let's listen to this, and we'll go out on this. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Just a fun indie game to play because, well, why not? Thank you so much.
Go to sleep now.
Oh, perfect for ASMR.
My little finger, no need
Goodbye.
let the Sandman linger. I will love you till the end of time. Go to sleep now, without breath or a whisper. In the morning I won't be here. I will love you till the end of time. You'll feel so alone. You may never know the thunder of the cities, rhythm of the roads, no place to call your home. But till you're grown, I assure you, you will never know a love like the one before you. Go to sleep now on my little finger. No need to let the Sandman linger.